everybody. I hope you are having an exceptional day at school. Although I can't be there in person with you, I am very excited to be joining you today as your mystery reader. I am your friend Hudson's very cool and super awesome dad, John. So let's all grab a seat and a shovel and let's dig right into our first book, Sam and Dave Dig a Hole, by Mac Barnett and illustrated by John Clausen. On Monday, Sam and Dave dug a hole. "When should we stop digging?" asked Sam. "We're on a mission," said Dave. "We won't stop digging until we find something spectacular." The hole got so deep that their heads were underground, but they still had not found anything spectacular. "We need to keep digging," said Dave. Oh, looks like they dug right past something. So they kept digging. They took a break. Dave drank chocolate milk out of a canteen. Sam ate animal cookies he had wrapped in their grandfather's kerchief. "Maybe," said Dave, "the problem is that we are digging straight down." "Yes," said Sam, "that could be the problem. I think we should dig in another direction," said Dave. "Yes," said Sam, "that is a good idea." Well, looks like the dog notices something. "I have a new idea," said Dave. "Let's split up." "Really?" said Sam. Just for a little while," said Dave. "It will help our chances." So Dave went one way, and Sam went another. But they did not find anything spectacular. "Maybe we should go back to digging straight down," said Dave. "Yes," said Sam, "that is a good idea." Holy moly, looks like they missed something giant. Sam and Dave ran out of chocolate milk, but they kept digging. They shared the last animal cookie, but they kept digging. After a while, Sam sat down. "Dave," he said, "I am tired." "I am tired too," said Dave. "We should take a rest." Sam and Dave fell asleep. Then Sam and Dave were falling. Sam and Dave fell down, 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 until they landed in the soft dirt. "Well," said Sam. "Well," said Dave, "that was pretty spectacular." And they went inside for chocolate milk and animal cookies. Looks like the dog ended with the best thing of all. So what's really interesting for me about this type of story is it's called an open-ended story. And what that means is that we don't really know the true ending. Did they fall through the center of the earth? Was this being narrated by the dog? Well, that's up for you to decide. And one thing I love about books is that you can read them again. And in this book's case, whenever I read it, I draw up on even newer conclusions. Like, maybe they fell through a parallel universe? Hey, could be. For our next story today, we're going to read one of my favorites called The Empty Pot. This book is a beautiful book written and illustrated by Demi. A long time ago in China, there was a boy named Ping who loved flowers. Anything he planted burst into bloom. Up came flowers, bushes, and even big fruit trees, as if by magic. Everyone in the kingdom loved flowers too. They planted them everywhere, and the air smelled like perfume. The emperor loved birds and animals, but flowers most of all, and he tended his own garden every day. But the emperor was very old. He needed to choose a successor to his throne. Who would his successor be? And how would the emperor choose? Because the emperor loved flowers so much, he decided to let the flowers choose. The next day, a proclamation was issued. All the children in the land were to come to the palace. There, they would be given special flower seeds by the emperor. Whoever can show me their best in a year's time, he said, will succeed me to the throne. This news created great excitement throughout the land. Children from all over the country swarmed to the palace to get their flower seeds. All the parents wanted their children to be chosen emperor, and all the children hoped they would be chosen too. When Ping received his seed from the emperor, he was the happiest child of all. He was sure he could grow the most beautiful flower. Ping filled a flower pot with rich soil. He planted the seed in it very carefully. He watered it every day. He couldn't wait to see it sprout, grow, and blossom into a beautiful flower. Day after day passed, but nothing grew in his pot. Ping was very worried. He put new soil into a bigger pot. Then he transferred the seed into the rich black soil. Another 2 months he waited. Still, nothing happened. By and by, the whole year passed. Spring came and all the children put on their best clothes to greet the emperor. They rushed to the palace with their beautiful flowers, eagerly hoping to be chosen. Ping was ashamed of his empty pot. He thought the other children would laugh at him because for once he couldn't get a flower to grow. His clever friend ran by holding a great big plant. Ping, he said, you're not really going to the emperor with an empty pot, are you? Couldn't you grow a great big flower like mine? I've grown lots of flowers better than yours, Ping said. It's just this seed that won't grow. Ping's father overheard this and said, you did your best, and your best is good enough to present to the emperor. Holding the empty pot in his hands, Ping went straight away to the palace. The emperor was looking at the flowers slowly, one by one. How beautiful all the flowers were. But the emperor was frowning and did not say a word. Finally, he came to Ping. Ping hung his head in shame, expecting to be punished. The emperor asked him, "Why did you bring an empty pot?" Ping started to cry and replied, I planted the seed you gave me. I watered it every day, but it did not sprout. I tended to it all year long, but nothing grew. So today I had to bring you an empty pot without a flower. It was the best I could do. When the emperor heard these words, a smile slowly spread over his face and put his arm around Ping. Then he exclaimed to one and all, "I have found him! I have found the one person worthy of being emperor. Where you got your seeds from, I do not know, for the seeds I gave you had all been cooked. So it was impossible for any of them to grow. I admire Ping's great courage to appear before me with the empty truth, and now I reward him with my entire kingdom and make him emperor of all the land." The end. The empty pot contains an important lesson about patience, honesty, and having courageousness within yourself. At the end of the story, the emperor asks why he brought the empty pot. And Ping says, "It was the best I could do, but I couldn't make it grow." The emperor smiled at him, and he said to him and the children that he had cooked all the beans, all the seeds. So there was no way any of those seeds could have grown. And thus, it was Ping who was the only one who was telling the truth. What was Ping's reward for telling the truth? He became the emperor. You know, what I love about this story is that it allows us to look inside at what the truth means. We learn in life a lot about different types of character traits. Being truthful means being courageous, means being a bigger person. And as we learned with Ping in the empty pot, in the end, it is truth that always wins. I hope you all enjoyed story time together with me as your mystery reader. I know I have enjoyed it with you. Well, we learned a lot today. We learned about open-ended stories where different endings can come to different people and even to the same person. But it's always good to keep reading. And truth, a character trait, one that is very powerful. And in the end, telling the truth makes you a winner. Well, I better let you guys get back to class. I know you guys are probably eager to get back to learning. And while you do that, I am eager to get back to reading. I wonder what book is next. Arnie the Donut? Sounds like a delicious book. Don't mind if I do. Books are just delicious, aren't they?